Okay. So we have a special guest today. But anyway, guys, we're here. We're talking about the Youngevity revolution. You know, basically what we're doing, really, we are in the process of helping to decrease human suffering in our communities, decreasing human suffering. And people suffer from so many things. And one of the things that people suffer from, and we all know this, is their health status. People have challenges with health. There are a lot of challenges that people are going through, and not only that, people also suffer financially. But with the Youngevity revolution and what Dr. Wallach has put together, guys, there's a way for us to be able to participate, to be able to give of ourselves, to be able to elevate people in our community to another level, health-wise and also income-wise. Today, what we're going to do, guys, my special guest is on. Let me see if Latravia. Latravia, are you there with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. You're coming through just fine. And I'm Travia's going to share some her experiences with you in just a little bit. But before I do that, guys, I want to say a little bit more about Youngevity and Dr. Wallach. Dr. Joe Wallach is the founder of Youngevity. He's a naturopathic physician. He's also a veterinarian as well as a pathologist with tons and tons of research, published many, many books, including epigenetics, and just doing an awful lot to really help people, not just in the USA, but worldwide. His mission is really to save America. That's part of why he started Youngevity, and we're truly on our way of helping him with that. So I consider myself to be in the army of Dr. Wallach, and being in his army, it really means to go out and do battle, so to speak, to help elevate people. You know, we're not tearing people down. We're building people up. And case in point, in terms of eliminating or reducing, if you would, suffering in our community, we have a special guest with us today, Latravia, and she's been with Youngevity, or just started with Youngevity, really, not very long ago. And I'm going to let her share her story a little bit and have her tell you a little bit about herself. And then I'm going to kind of interview her. We're going to go through some health analogies, some things that she's been challenged with, and she's going to share with you what her experience has been. Latravia.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Oh, good. You're loud and clear. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the call.
Good morning, and thank you.
Okay, and we thank you. I know that, could you maybe share a little bit about yourself? I just gave your first name, and that will suffice. But if you want to share a little bit about what you do, and then share with the group on the line how you came to know about Youngevity.
Good morning, everyone. I came to know about Youngevity by Dr. Richardson, actually. He is my dentist, and the wonderful thing is that he's a holistic dentist, caring more about my whole entire body and not just my teeth. So I got started with Youngevity about a few months ago. I actually joined in December of last year, but I bought the products, and they kind of sat around, and I read about them. And in looking for a vitamin or vitamins that would help me to live better and healthier, I could not find anywhere a more comprehensive vitamin. And so recently, probably, I guess about 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, I started taking the Healthy Start Pack. And with the Healthy Start Pack, what I did not do was I did not take the right amount of it because it does go by your weight. I kind of bypassed the small writing. Anyway, everybody in my house had a cold, and I started using the Healthy Start Pack, and I gave everybody that, even my children, and every single person in my house, including my husband, got sick, and I didn't. And they got over their colds rather quickly. Right after that, I was diagnosed as critically anemic, and my hemoglobin was a 6.7. So what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to get a blood transfusion. I really wanted my body to heal itself. And I was told that I was not making red blood cells at all, and they didn't really know what was going on. And I went to see Dr. Richardson, and he told me a couple things, that I had a digestive disorder going on and that I needed to make sure I was getting enough of the product. And so I did. I paid attention. I increased my intake of the Healthy Start Pack, and that really got things rolling. So I went from having a hemoglobin of 6.7 to 7.5 in less than a week, just taking the right amount of the tangy tangerine and the ultimate mineral caps and the ultimate cow. So it really does work wonders. Yes.
Before you go on, I remember when you came in, we were talking, and you had one particular symptom. There was one thing that you craved, and you had been craving it for a while. What is that you craved and you just had to have it?
Ice. I was craving ice. I would get up out of my bed in the middle of the night to get a cup of ice. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to have it.
Right, and I think that when I was asking you a question about that, and you told me about the ice, and I told you, well, you got to be severely anemic.
Yes.
Yeah, and you started telling me about some of the infusion of iron that you had. You had some iron infusion, is that right? Tell the group a little bit about iron infusion, because some people may not know what that is.
Well, I had two iron infusions, and what the iron infusion does is you get the iron it goes right in the IV and right into your veins. And what the problem was is my doctor didn't know. He said, well, you must have something digestive going on. And so I'm going to recommend, we're going to go with the iron infusion therapy. And so that's what I had.
Yeah, go ahead, Latravia.
So with the therapy, actually before the therapy started, the Healthy Start Pack is really what got me started on my way. And after the first infusion, I went from a 7.5 to a 9. So I had just over, and they gave me 1,000 milligrams of iron with the first infusion. It only did maybe just a little more than what the Healthy Start Pack did for me, actually. And with the Healthy Start Pack, there's also B12 and other vitamins and minerals to help me to absorb the iron a little better. So it gave me a little bit of a boost, but the Healthy Start Pack is actually what carried me further. And with God's help, my body is making red blood cells again.
I began to use your Healthy Start Pack. Tell us a little bit about how did you begin to feel? What are you feeling? How are you feeling now with what you've done so far?
Well, I feel great now. Actually, when I started out with the lower hemoglobin 6.7, I eventually went to the restless leg syndrome. I had that. I had muscle fatigue, and there were days that I actually could not walk. And after I got started with the Healthy Start Pack, I had more energy within, I would say, a day or two. I felt more energy. I was less nauseated, and it made me feel like I could live. I actually felt like I was dying before that. My energy was just,
hold on 1 second,
it was like almost,
Hold on, here's music. And I can't get on at all.
Oh, wow. Hold on, Latravia.
That's Shirley.
Sure.
Anemia. Now, one of the things that when we had that conversation where you craved ice and you would get up in the middle of the night and eat ice, one of the things that I talked to you about that was you were probably severely anemic, and you said that yes, you were having iron infusions. Is that right?
Yes.
You were having iron infusion. So again, just kind of review this. Tell us a little bit about the iron infusion and how many did you have and what did that do for your hemoglobin?
Okay, so one thing I left out, I'm glad I have the chance to recap. I had 2 iron infusions done. But when I went to the hematologist the first time, when I went in, he said, first of all, he was surprised that I was able to walk into his office. But the other thing was that he told me that it would take at least 6 months, maybe 9 months for my anemia to be resolved, even with the iron infusions. And I had one once a week. So I went for 2 weeks, and then I had to have a break, and then we were set for me to start another round of 2 infusions, and that did not have to happen. And so it's been just over a month, just a month, and it's been resolved. I mean, my hemoglobin is still a little low, but it's up to 11.3. So it's almost doubled in 4 weeks when he predicted that it would be about 6 months.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, there was one thing that I shared with you that really made a big difference for you. And I was telling you about the fact that in order for you to absorb iron and absorb your minerals, that you needed some digestive enzymes. You need to acidify your stomach. Now, I believe that after I told you that, I think you went out and you looked for something. And can you tell us a little bit about what happened, and tell us about the ultimate enzyme, what happened after you began to take that and the difference that you noticed?
Yes, so I ordered Ultimate Enzyme right away, but it was on back order. So I went out to various health food stores and vitamin shops looking for a digestive enzyme that had everything that the Ultimate Enzyme had in it that I could take until it came. And there was nothing out there on the shelf that I could grab, that I could buy and start taking immediately. So I bought one called Super Enzyme that I started taking, Super Digestaway. That was as close to it as I could get, but again, it did not have everything in it that the Ultimate Enzyme had. And with the Ultimate Enzyme, my skin issues really have have decreased and almost been resolved completely. And I do notice a difference in being able to better absorption of my vitamins and minerals, though, because I have more energy and I just feel better overall.
Wow. If you were to put your health on a scale from 1 to 10, I can't say 0 because that means you're not with us, but from 1 to 10, if you could put it on a scale, like on a number, how would you relate your health status in terms of how you feel from 1 to 10 before you started Youngevity and what you're doing right now, to what number would you give it now? How would you rate that?
So before I started with Youngevity, I would say about a 3. And now I would say a 9. I'm just about all the way back. But let me tell you how bad my anemia was. It got to the point where I actually thought that I may have had a stroke because it was hard for me to think. It was hard for me to have a conversation and to put my words together. So that's how bad things were for me. And I was so confused that my husband was really afraid that I was going to die. And like I said, when I walked into the doctor's office and he looked at my numbers, he was surprised that I was able to walk into his office.
Wow.
So I did share with him the Healthy Start Pack, and he looked at the ingredients and he said, that's good. That is good stuff. Keep taking that. So from a medical doctor.
Right. Now tell us about the medical doctor. Now, I think you went to a hematologist, is that right?
Yes, I had to see a hematologist.
Mm-hmm. And what else do they do there, by the way?
They also do cancer, oncology. So it's an oncology hematologist, and he was telling me that a lot of times oncology and hematology work together. So I really, was concerned that I could not find just a hematologist separate from an oncologist, but they work hand in hand.
Right, because the same thing, in order to improve your circulation, they use the circulatory system also to treat cancers as well.
Yes.
And that's that. But he was impressed with the results that you had gotten. So you went from a hemoglobin of like 6 or so up to 11.
Yes.
And
in
that
just
took
4
you about,
weeks.
Wow, that's super fantastic. The other thing, too, now, I know you've been taking the digestive enzyme. You've had some improvement in your digestive system. Maybe you can share some of the things that you noticed digestion-wise and the little stomach aches and things like that you would get before that's not there now and so on. Could you share a little bit of that?
Sure. So I had stomach aches with eating. I had bloating, and even after I ate, like late at night when my stomach, I feel should have been quiet and pretty satisfied, I was achy, and then I just had a sick kind of feeling. And now I don't have that anymore. I don't have any bloating at all when I eat. I do take the enzyme just before I eat, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes before, and it works really well.
Wow. And one of the things, just to relate to everyone, one of the things that we've noticed, and it's pretty consistent, some people that have digestive issues will also have skin issues. And there are a number of autoimmune diseases that come from that. Let me just share with people that there are some bad foods that we eat. And in some people, matter of fact, it's a pretty large percentage of people who are really severely gluten intolerant. And if you're gluten intolerant, guys, things are going to begin to show up with all kinds of different problems, because what has to happen is your digestive tract is so important for absorption. See, it's not what you eat, it's what you absorb. The other thing, too, a lot of people, or even most people that are gluten intolerant, also have inadequate stomach acid. So stomach acid is really the key, because you cannot absorb your minerals if you don't have adequate stomach acid. And in our society, we do so many things to decrease stomach acid, things such as drinking carbonated beverages, things such as restricting salt in your diet also helps reduce stomach acid. And if you don't have adequate stomach acid, you are going to come down with some mineral deficiency diseases. So when you think about even what Latravia has gone through with her blood count, that's really a nutritional deficiency disease. It's a deficiency of iron and also copper, by the way. And when she, even though she was taking the minerals, she still wasn't absorbing very well in the beginning, but when she added the enzyme, so she had adequate stomach acid, then she was able to absorb. Okay? So just wanted to share that with everyone. Latravia, so
yes.
Taking your Healthy Start Pack, you said before that when you first started doing it, you were just taking it not according to your body weight. Share again, because some people may have missed that. Share again with us the difference that you noticed when you went from taking the amount you started with to when you started taking it correctly according to your body weight. Could you share that?
Yes, my energy level increased even more, and I felt more alive, if you can imagine that. If you could think on your worst day, I really felt like I had the flu without a fever when I got started. And so I was tired, I was weak, achy for sure. And the other thing that I failed to mention, Dr. Richardson, was the weight loss. Because the weight started to melt away. So I started out at 234, and I'm down to 211. And I do not exercise at all.
Wow.
Sadly, but I don't.
Yes, it's what begins to happen as you begin to get the bad foods out of your body, put the good foods in, the body will respond. And talking about weight, we know from Dr. Wallach's research and from the experiences that we've had that weight problems primarily are problems of where you have a lot of carbohydrates in your diet. You absorb the carbohydrates, and you're actually mineral deficient. The more mineral deficient you are, the more weight you're going to retain, and the more weight you're going to put on, because you're going to absorb your carbohydrates even though you cannot absorb your minerals. So that's a big, big plus. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been very, very special having you on. Now,
thank you.
As a result of you having had this experience with yourself, in terms of you being able to now share with some other people, how did it make you feel when you now go out and you can speak from your heart, you can share a little bit of your experience with others? What kind of reactions are you getting?
A varied reaction from so many people, but you absolutely hit the nail on the head. Being able to talk about my experience with Youngevity is far different than just talking about a product that I've heard about. So for me, like I said, I came into this walk feeling like I had the flu without a fever. So I can talk more passionately about what it's doing and how it's working and how I feel. And for the people who saw me along this journey, they are absolutely wowed at my progress in just a short amount of time.
Wow. Now, I know that you've been able to actually be able to share this with some of your church family, and I believe that tonight we will be talking to a group of them. What was their response when you shared with them? They
really just wanted to know all about what it is that I've been doing.
Wow.
And so leader of the group of us that are meeting tonight said that he definitely wants to take this to the whole entire church, to the whole congregation, just from seeing me, because he and his wife know my husband and I well, and they actually have been very close to us during this journey. So they saw me even at the state where I really could not walk so well.
Wow. So, guys, I mean, like the trivia, I really thank you for coming on this morning and sharing your experience. And we can just tell in your speaking that what you're saying comes from the heart. And, guys, when we connect with people, it's really about connecting from the heart. It's about connecting from a place where you are. And when that happens, guys, people are going to respond. Sure, not everyone will respond. Guys, when you share from your heart, you share what your experiences are, you become a product of the product. So then when you speak, it really shines through. And it's not so much even what you say, it's how you say what you say, and then you be an example of what's possible for another. Guys, I tell you what, through this process, truly we can help decrease human suffering. There are many, many people out there that are suffering from all kinds of conditions that oftentimes can be nutritionally related. But let me just share this with everyone. We're here talking about nutrition, and just want everyone to know and understand, nutrition is not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat any disease. That's not what it does. But what it does do is absolutely amazing. It supports the body and the body's ability to be able to heal itself. So with that said, we'll open up the line to thank Latravia for being on, and I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about making a difference in our communities. And, guys, if you can get excited about making a difference in our communities, as you make a difference with yourself, because it starts with you, guys, we are going to be able to move some mountains, okay? So with that said, we can open up the lines. I may have them open, I hope. And everyone can bid everyone good day. And we will see you guys here again tomorrow. With that said, give a big shout-out to Latravia and thank her for being on the call.